Sliced, battered, and fried till golden brown, onion rings are the ultimate indulgence, and these are the 8 greatest places to find this addictively crispy snack. Kicking off the Grade 8 is Warren's Place. Set in this old-school spot in South Weymouth, Warren's Place is the kind of place you go for casual fare with portions and prices that are beyond fair. The menu is lined with all your favorites, from juicy steak tips to bar pizza and an oversized chicken parm to some of the best onion rings around.
People come just for the onion rings. We slice them thin, then put them in a batter, and then fry them. And I'll tell you something, they'll melt in your mouth. They're so tasty.
With locations in Worcester and Sudbury, Barrel Tavern is a contemporary rustic tavern with a menu that covers all the dishes you love, from buffalo chicken dip to wings, burgers, and more. And their onion rings are second to none. Freshly sliced and hand-battered in-house, these golden fried beauties are something every table should order. With 4 locations across Rhode Island, including this one in Warwick, Gregg's restaurant has been serving all your favorites since 1972. This massive restaurant has it all, from a larger-than-life menu offering breakfast on the weekends, lunch and dinner all week long, and an incredible selection of desserts. But Phantom's favorite dish is this towering stack of thick-cut onion rings.
Our onion rings are unique in that there's still the large, thick-cut onion, and we stack them up on a stand so that the first impression is good, but the first impression has to be followed up by a good product, and then a good thick piece of onion that you get a good flavor from when you bite into it.
Located in Nashua, New Hampshire, Willie Jewels Old School Barbecue is a national chain with outlets in South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Here the focus is on slow-smoked meats like ribs, chicken, brisket, and pork, all cooked for hours so they're ultra-tender. And while sides like their collard greens, baked beans, and mac and cheese are great, the best addition to any of their queue is the home-style onion rings. These thick-cut golden rings are served hot and crunchy alongside creamy ranch for dipping. With locations in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and this one right on the Blue Line in East Boston, Renegades Pub is a neighborhood spot specializing in flat-top burgers served on squishy rolls, an enormous selection of local craft beers, and giant trays of shareable sides like these perfectly executed onion rings.
We like to say we do them our way. Our onion rings, we shave them thin. We make them with red onions. The onion is the star of the show. It's just a little bit of breading, and they come out very, very crispy. It's one of my favorite things that's on the menu. Just about everything on our menu is one of my favorite things because we built this menu based off of the things we like to have when we go out to eat.
Another Grade 8 winner is Summer Shanty. Located at the Bass River Marina in West Dennis, Summer Shanty is the ultimate spot to take in killer views, fresh seafood, and frosty beverages. There are many directions to go when ordering, from fish and chips, steamers for sharing, or a perfect lobster roll. But the perfect way to start is with some of their crispy onion petals.
If anybody's ever been to Outback Steakhouse, if you've had the bloomin' onion there, it's basically a deconstructed bloomin' onion. We do all the work for you. It's all cut off, and it's just petals. You pick them up and eat them without doing any work. We serve it with a dynamite sauce, a little spicy, but there's no work to it, and it's just like an onion ring.
Mac and Waltz is a small but mighty Norton neighborhood restaurant with a bar specializing in bourbons and whiskeys and a kitchen kicking out creative comfort food and southern favorites like chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits. But it's the scrumptious hand-battered onion rings with creamy buttermilk ranch that are truly a must-order every time. Rounding out the Grade 8 is Cafe Martin. Located on West Street in Newton, Cafe Martin is the quintessential, quaint, cozy local spot. There's a long bar, local art, friendly faces, Trivial Pursuit cards, and a menu filled with craveable comfort food classics, especially their signature loaded onion rings.
It starts with fried onion rings, and then we put our pulled pork on top, which has been braised forever. It's so delicious, and some barbecue sauce, and a little bit of cheese, and people love it.
They're the 8 greatest places for onion rings. Only the best make it to the Grade 8.